If you would like to break free from the ongoing torture that self-consciousness can be, then please, kindly, keep listening to the end, because if you do, then within the hour, your wish will be granted, and all you need to do is be still, focus on these words, and follow the instructions as closely as you can. Good. I'd like you now to close your eyes and imagine feeling delightfully surprised. A good feeling, better than good, due to the element of surprise, as if something rather awful that you have had to endure for far too long, something that makes life hard, sometimes impossible, has suddenly come to an end, and you are surprised and delighted. That kind of feeling. Just imagine how truly good that feels now. And as this feeling grows within you, becoming fuller now and more expansive, I'd like you to take 5 deep breaths, one after the other, holding each for as long as is comfortable, and paying particular attention to the third breath, the one in the middle, the breath that marks the halfway point, the one that takes you over the threshold to the inner you, where, completely shielded from all others, you feel safe and quite secure in yourself. And in this inner place of refuge and safety, you can breathe easily now. That's right, because in this ever-deepening feeling of peaceful quiet, you know that here, what other people think is of no account whatsoever, because this is your space, your time, and your place, and what happens here is nobody else's business. And in accepting the obvious and comforting truth of this, you find your breathing, as it naturally would, can become even deeper, gentler, softer now, lengthening the spaces in between. Little tensions and stresses begin to automatically dissolve here. A lovely feeling, a deepening, dreamy feeling, as you forget all else in order to go even deeper into this. That's right. And now, ready for change, and looking for the sign which indicates the long-sought path to social ease and enjoyment, you see a softly glowing light, indistinct at first, but the deeper, the slower, the gentler your breathing, the clearer, the brighter this light glows. A lovely light, appealing, attractive, inviting, promising release, and desiring now to become one with this light, a comforting light, accepting, nurturing, bestowing its loving glow upon you as one of its own. So you go into this light, you become this light, and as you do, now colors shimmer, reality shifts. You see a curtain, long purple velvet drapes, heavy and warm. They part for you. You go between and behind, backstage as it were, away from today and deep into the recesses of your own mind. Places seldom visited, but as safe and as welcoming as deep, deep sleep. Because when you're asleep, your worries vanish, and you now enter this dream world where old problems are solved with remarkable ease, because here, in this fully, beautifully relaxed state, you are open to change, a change of heart and of mind, as easily made as crossing a street where there's no traffic, a quiet street, easy to walk, leading to the train station. Busy as usual, noisy and full of movement, holidaymakers, business people, backpackers, day trippers old and young, going somewhere, just like you, just like you find yourself now, walking quickly down the platform to board your train. You see a very tall person in rather old-fashioned clothes in front of you unknowingly drop something that catches the light as it falls. You pick it up. It's a wallet, fastened shut. The material feels very, very expensive. You stand up and immediately look for the person, but they are nowhere to be seen. And so, you assume the person has boarded the train in front of you. You get onto the train, holding the wallet, and you begin to make your way through the carriages, looking for the person, knowing that you will easily recognize them because of their height and their old-fashioned clothes. You pass through several carriages, but do not see the person anywhere. But now, moving into the last carriage, you feel sure you'll see the person there. You walk up the aisle, looking left and right, and then, nearing the end of the carriage, you realize you must have been mistaken in believing that this was the last one. You see now that there is still one more. You are surprised because you were very sure, but not wanting to deny the evidence of your own eyes, you open the door to this one and enter. This carriage is different. It looks like a dining carriage that they used to have on trains long ago. It smells different, and the lighting is different too. There are 6 round tables, each occupied by people, all seemingly wearing clothes from the same era as the person you saw drop the wallet. The whole situation feels a bit odd, but your thoughts are interrupted as you recognize the wallet owner, sitting alone at a table for 2, looking directly at you with a charming, welcoming smile. The person stands, indicates the seat opposite, and invites you to sit. "Did you drop this wallet?" you ask. "I did," the person says in a pleasant tone. "Thank you for bringing it to this place and to this time for me. Please, take a seat." You note the peculiar expression, and you begin to realize that all is not quite as it seems. The person smiles reassuringly at you, a twinkle in their eye, and adds, mysteriously, "None of what you see around you at this time is real. Only what you feel is real. Your thoughts are just a commentary on your feelings and emotions. The only thing that's real is how you feel." All of this seems so very strange to you, but somehow, in some way, appropriate and quite acceptable. You instinctively trust this person. You get only a good feeling from this person. A feeling in your stomach tells you that. You are on the verge of wonderful change, and so you become very interested, listening intently. The person says to you, "I noticed you on the platform, looking so uncomfortable with all the other people." You feel your face coloring, and you quickly say, "Yes, I can find it difficult being in public places sometimes." "Yes," replies the person, and adds, "And so I've arranged for events to turn out in such a way that I can be of some assistance to you." This last remark intrigues you. "What kind of assistance?" you ask. Well, says the person, the reason for your self-consciousness is simply because your mirror mask is inside out. You see, your mirror mask is back to front, and because of that, you suffer. You are baffled by this. But the person continues in the most kindly, friendly manner. Allow me to explain. Your mirror mask is probably best described as an emotional mask that you begin to develop around the age of 12. Because growing up can be such a difficult time for so many, most young people get very self-conscious about an awful lot of things, and so the deeper mind creates a sort of psychic barrier, which we call your mirror mask. And this mirror mask reflects away all feelings that others may be watching you, or silently judging or criticizing you without actually saying anything. The classic feelings which go together and make you feel self-conscious. You see, when you're wearing your mirror mask, you're not affected by feelings that others are looking at you or scrutinizing you, and you feel completely at ease in public or in one-to-one situations. Human beings evolved mirror masks thousands of years ago when we started living together in larger communities. It's a natural thing, and everybody has one. But most people have never heard of them because they're not actually visible to the naked eye. It's one of those things that gets completely forgotten about until something goes wrong. You ask the obvious question. If everyone has one of these masks that protects against feelings of being watched and scrutinized and judged and silently criticized, then why do I always feel so self-conscious then? Because, replies the person with the kindest of smiles, your mirror mask has grown inside out. It happens sometimes, and what this means is that instead of reflecting away all those self-conscious feelings that you've been having to put up with every time you're in a public place or when someone is looking directly at you, you actually feel more self-conscious than you otherwise would. You see, when your mirror mask is inside out, it's you that's affected by the reflections of you imagining you're being scrutinized, judged, and criticized. What's evolved to protect people has the opposite effect on you, simply because your mirror mask is inside out. And what can happen over the years is that you may become horribly self-conscious. You can develop imposter syndrome, or feel less worthy than others, or you can believe that other people know things that you don't. all of which can result in a growing inferiority complex. You feel that this is a rather good description of how you've generally felt throughout your life, and whilst you are relieved to finally understand the reason why you've been suffering self-consciousness for so long, you also feel deeply disappointed because you naturally believe, after hearing what you've just heard, that this is just the way that things are for you and are therefore always going to be. There's no need to look sad, the person says with the most beautiful smile. It's easily fixed, and I can do that now for you. Really? You ask, wondering if the person can be serious. Absolutely and without question. Indeed. That's why I'm here today. And since it's also why you're here today, you have no need to have any doubts about this whatsoever. I'm a mask doctor, the person says. It's what I do, and since I specialize in mirror masks, this is going to be very straightforward, and you are going to be absolutely delighted with how you feel afterwards. And in hearing this, you accept it completely because you feel that you trust this person fully. What do I have to do, you ask? Just look into my eyes and cast everything else from your mind, the person instructs you. And so you do this. You now hear the person say, kindly bring to mind the color of self-consciousness. See the color of self-consciousness. Feel it, taste it, hear it. And so again you do this. That's right, the person says. Now, this is important. Your focus sharpens. The person then says, now, see, feel, taste, and hear that color, the color of self-consciousness, change into the color of easy self-confidence. See, feel, and hear, and taste the change from the color of self-consciousness to the color of self-confidence. Do this as clearly, as exclusively, and as completely as you possibly can. Do this for me now. That's right. Nearly there. And so you do as instructed. You see, feel, taste, and hear the color of self-consciousness change, and now you feel, hear, taste, and smell that color of self-consciousness turn into the color of self-confidence. You hear the person tell you that you're about to hear a little pop as your mirror mask is reversed and turned the right way around. You are so deeply into trance now, you wonder if you've just imagined the mask doctor telling you this. And then you hear a pop, and you realize now, at a very deep level, this is actually happening. You feel fully convinced. This is absolutely real, and it's happening to you now, in this very minute. And now, you know, the feeling is unmistakable. Your mirror mask has been reversed. You are now wearing your mirror mask the right way around for the first time in your life, and it feels truly wonderful. Feel that. There's a warm and contented feeling in your stomach now, a true feeling, a real feeling, peaceful, still, and you realize clearly now that something awful is missing. That old, underlying, ongoing feeling of unease, that lurking dread, that feeling is no longer there. It has vanished and can now never return. Happy in yourself, as yourself. So easy, so simple, so obviously true and undeniable that you are, at last, socially confident. You feel socially confident. How good is that? The feeling you feel in your stomach is the best feeling you've ever felt there. And your face feels different too, as if it's transparent. You're hardly aware of its existence at all, because you feel confident. You feel socially confident, a lovely feeling. And now, so good, you realize that it's because your mirror mask is at last the right way around, and life has just become, quite unexpectedly, truly wonderful. And in this deeply felt and fundamental transformation, something which previously you only dreamt about, is now, at last, actually happening. This feeling, this understanding, this new-found identity begins to make itself felt throughout your entire physical form. Tensions melt, stresses evaporate. You let slip your grip on all those things that you've held onto for far, far too long. Let them go. You let them go. That's right. And letting these go allows you now to go deeper, much deeper, into an even deeper feeling of pure bliss, pure peace. And this allows you now to let go of even deeper tension, to let go of misunderstanding, letting go now of all grudges, all grief, and any remaining reluctance to live fully and abundantly in the present. You see now your true potential and are amazed. Reserves of energy and enthusiasm for life are rediscovered now, and patience, understanding, and forgiveness for others and for yourself are now available to you in never-ending abundance. Things have changed utterly for you. Now your mirror mask is the right way around. Now your mirror mask is working as it always should have worked. Life is now and will forever be what it always should have been. You are released from your prison. You feel free of the old fears altogether. So good. Feel how truly wonderful this is. You feel renewed, reborn, revitalized, and rejuvenated all at once. And the truly beautiful thing about this is that you've realized something that simply cannot be denied. It's just too obvious now. You've realized, and of course, fully accepted because it's so totally obvious to you now that no one, but no one, has a higher status from which they could ever judge you. The simple and truly wonderful meaning and effect of which is, what others may think of you just isn't something you give much importance to now. Why would you? And anyway, since you're not a mind reader, you see now that the vast majority of what you feared these people were thinking was simply a product of your own imagination. In fact, now you've understood how your self-consciousness came about and how it has now been cured. Your deeper mind has understood too, and in accepting this, and as you would expect, your deeper mind gladly takes on this new perspective, this clear understanding, and in doing this, you now have a new identity, and this new identity feels good, feels right. Feel that. It just fits you better. It feels so much more natural and comfortable. And the never-ending resourcefulness of your deeper mind now automatically starts creating new strategies for a much easier life all round. That's right. Much easier for you, much easier for your deeper mind. No more tightness in the stomach. No more imagining what others might think. And no more caring, even if they were to do so. Everything has turned out very well for you in the end. You know now that even if 1,000 people were looking directly at you, you wouldn't be affected at all. The picture you have of yourself, of the world, and of the relationship between the two has completely changed for the better. Because now, that road has finally been crossed, and everything is now the right way around. No more awkwardness, no more hesitation, no more fear. Feel that. Feel that. Feel that so deeply, so good. And now, comfortable in this, your new identity, you begin to return to full consciousness now, happy in your new identity, your mirror mask the right way around, your new understanding clear in your mind and deeply embedded in your outlook, your habits, and your entire personality. You are free, and in feeling the truth of all of this, your eyes open and you begin your life anew. Hello. And now, if you feel confident, kindly like this video and subscribe to this channel, because if you do, you will be helping us out more than you could imagine. And if we can get sufficient subscribers, we can keep putting out these videos for you and for everyone else. Thank you. Thank you.